Hey everyone, this is a tutorial video for how to make the caged bubble star. Now the first thing you're going to need, or I guess the last thing, is 120 stacked rings of 16 magnets per ring. And you're not going to need those till the end, so I'm just going to go ahead and set those aside. And you're also going to need 43 of these, the little tiny spheres that get called C60 spheres, even though they're not actually a C60 structure. But about the polarity of them, you need 31 to be one polarity. That's this group over here. And you need 12 of them to be the opposite polarity. That's this group. And you also need a bunch of stacked pentagon rings, and I'm going to use these for a lot of different things. I have them in rows of 24, but that's not really significant. So the way you make these, though, is you take 12 pentagons, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them up so they're all just individual. Okay, and what you do is you take two of them, you attach them together like that. You take a third one, put it there, and you just keep going around like that until you make a sphere. And you end up with this. And the way you tell different polarities is that two spheres of the same polarity will not mesh together. You see the magnets that are touching are in kind of a stacked arrangement, whereas two spheres that are opposite polarity will mesh together like that. So that's how you can tell the difference. Let me see, I make sure I actually got these back in the right groups. I did. Okay. So, now to start building this thing, what you do is you first take one of these from the group of 31, and you take some of your pentagon stacks, and you cut up stacks of 4. And that's what you're going to be using for all of these. For this whole first part is a bunch of stacks of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up a few. Okay, that should be enough for now. And what you want to do is attach them on to the pentagons of this, just like that. And for this one, you want to cover all 12 pentagons with stacks of 4. And so you have this. Okay, and now what you want to do is take a few of these that are the opposite polarity and attach them on the other end of these pentagon stacks. And because they're the opposite polarity, they will just mesh in like that. And at this point, you want to go ahead and do, I think, 5 or 6 of them. So what you want for now is to have 6 of them arranged like this, so they evenly cover 1/2 of the shape. Now you want to set that aside for now, and you want to cut up more of these stacks of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and what you want to do is go back to this group of what was originally 31 and now 30, and you want to attach them on 2 adjacent pentagons. So you end up with a subunit that looks like this, and you want to make 10 of those for now. Okay, that's 10. And the way you want to attach them now is that for 5 of them, you can kind of see how there's a center ball here. And they'll bridge in between the 2. And so you see there's a pentagon there, and there's one there. And that's where both of these will attach. just like that. And then the other ones will attach between these ones, just like that. And so you go ahead and do that with all 10. Okay, and now you can flip this over onto what you just completed. And also, if you want to, it probably is a good idea, you can take a stack of pentagons and attach it to this center one here to act as a support. And I'm forgetting how many. I think it needs to be 4. Yeah, 4 looks right. So a stack of 4 pentagons attached to that will help keep it from collapsing. Now you can take the other 6 of these that are part of the group of 12 and attach them to the other 6 pentagon stacks here. And now you can make all the rest of these into the same kind of subunits with the 2 stacks and attach them all around this shape. Okay, and that's the inner part. And now you want to take more of these and cut up stacks of 3, not 4, and you want 11 of those. Okay, and what you do with these is the center spheres that are attached to 5 of the outer ones, the same one that you attached a support to underneath. You attach these to the pentagon that's facing outwards on each of those, just like that. You do that to all 11, except for the one on the bottom, because it already has something on it. Okay, and that is the complete inner part. Now you can bring these back in, these 120 stacked rings of 16, and what you do with them is you can take them, hold on a second, you can take them, flatten them out, and cut them up into long straight pieces. So what you want to do is, normally I would say you can take them and attach them into groups of 5 and put those down on top of these stacks. But this time that doesn't work so well, because these really like to interact with the spheres and you have to be careful. So what I like to do with them, let's see if I can show this, is you attach 3 of them together. But normally when you attach 3 of them together, they want to attach like that. See how here on the bottom, those 2 magnets are touching? This time you want to avoid that, keep those 2 from touching. So those 2 are just kind of barely in contact like that. And then take a third one and, if I can get it to behave, do the same thing. So on the underside it looks like this. And that can kind of flex like this a little bit. And these are what you want to make and attach. And each one of them goes in between 3 of these outer spheres and attaches on these pentagon spokes. You're going to do this very carefully because they do like to attach to the pentagons. Or not to the pentagons, to the spheres. So just like that. Hold on a second. So now what you want to do is just continue around with these until you've completed the kind of the top portion. Okay, and now that you've completed all of one corner, what you can do is take a single pentagon ring and add it down on top of that. Just like that. And one more thing that you want to do, we're about to flip this over so that this will be the bottom of the shape. And one thing you want to do before that happens is that you want to take 5 single pentagons and you want to attach them to the tops of these 5 spheres. And what that does is even it out so it has a flat surface to sit on. So now you can go ahead and carefully flip it over. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Had a kind of a major accident while flipping it. I had to start all over and rebuild it, but it's fixed and I have it turned over. So once you flip it over, what you want to do is remove 1 pentagon from this stack of 4. So it's now a stack of 3 like all the rest of them. And then you want to just continue adding these on in the sets of 3 like you were doing, and you just want to work your way up from the bottom. One quick note is that as you complete corners, you can't really see it, but there's one down here that I just completed. You probably will want to take a pentagon and put it on there to help stabilize. Just like that. But yeah, otherwise just keep going. And there you go. That is the caged bubble star. And when you were putting on the outer cage part, you may notice that these corners are not exact. They don't fit perfectly. I think that's just one of the side effects of moving from a construction made out of spheres and pentagon tubes into a construction made out of edge pieces. They don't translate perfectly, but this is about as close as you can get. So you might have to kind of shoehorn those in there, but it'll work, and it'll look pretty good when you're done. It'll be hard to tell that it didn't fit perfectly. But that's all there is to it. So I guess you kind of roll it around in front of the camera here. I will smash it now.